Islam, peace and grand rising to the air. Today is September the 13th. It's 1440 on the sun calendar, 1441 on the moon calendar, and 2020 on the Greco-Roman calendar. This is our Sunday sharing session where we all share information, we share processes, we come together as a nation so that we can all stay informed and speak with one voice when we speak. And so it is an honor to be here. Princess Ali, Islam, how are you? I want to welcome her back. She said she just came from boot camp, and I've been to boot camp as well. That's what we call when we are being tested by the ancestors. And those who handle the tests the way that Empress Princess Ali handled the testing will always come out as pure gold. Islam. Princess Ali, do you want to just say a few things? Are you there, Princess Ali?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Did you want to just say a couple of things about boot camp?
Yes, boot camp, my second one. I'm former military, and I have to tell you that there's a difference between training and receiving information from the ancestors. Because to truly tell you that being in the midst of colonizers, oppressors, and what we call the enemy, not E-N-E-M-I-E-S, but I-N-N-E-R-M-E, we have to work out our salvation from the ancestors because it's all about us. You only meet you.
Yes.
And so what I have learned is that my temper was very, very high, and I put a lot of policy enforcers in Guantanamo Bay for just pulling me over. And I have a very hot head, a hot temper. So the ancestors were not pleased at all because of the power and the responsibility that they entrust us with. We can't be reckless and acting like the Albions. We have to be subdued, and I learned that you have to subdue your own energy. No one can do that for you. You have to correct everything within yourself, and no matter how many writs you file, no matter how many prayer, intercession partners you have, it doesn't matter until you subdue your energy, and that is the key to finish and complete the boot camp, because I wasn't going to stop. I was there for 250 days, and I was not going to stop and go 240 days and give up. I was in on it for the long haul, for the long ride to the end, because I want the reward. And you can only get the reward when you go through the fire and come out like gold.
Islam.
So your ancestors will talk to you when you're in your down situation. They will show you signs of wonder. I used to call Empress Light and tell her, I had a dream last night. And she said, what was the dream? I said, there was a watch in the sink. And my ancestor was saying, watch them sink. And let me tell you, when you have time to study, you have time to get the work and learn the language and write it out without reading it and tell those administrators what you say is going to happen. They know our stuff better than we know it. They know when we say a word that's wrong. They know us better than we know ourselves, and now that's being corrected. But I have to tell you that anytime you give your mantra to somebody, a colonizer, they're listening very closely to see if you know what you're talking about. So no one can do your work for you. You have to do it yourself, because you're dealing with your ancestors, and they want you to do things for them and the family that other people who would be doing your work cannot do or know. And if they do the work, they're going to feel the ancestors from that person, and that may not be something that's prescribed for you. So I learned so much. I'm so grateful. I am thankful with my, getting to talk to Empress Light and Abasi and Sheik Gio and Enola and Empress Muriel and Empress Inez. I had a team in the Southeast that was helping me and supporting me and putting things into play for me. But I got to give all the credit to the ancestors because they brought me through. I'm telling you, there were days when I said, y'all forgot about me. And so, I would do my little libations. I have water, and I don't drink coffee. And I would give my grandmother, who's my, my main one, give her a cup of coffee every morning. And so that's how you have to do. You have to bless them so they can bless you. And sometimes it doesn't look like what we want to go through, but they don't ask us permission. Once we sign up, we're in it to do the work. And so I'm down 80 pounds, and I wrote 13 episodes for a TV show, and I wrote a song, and I wrote a play, and I got all my work done to present myself to the administrator, who at the time, and I had them record the last hearing, and I had a person that came in, and she listened to recording. She recorded this hearing, and I'll let people listen to it. Every time I said something, she was stunned. She didn't know what to do. You have to read everything. You have to read everything. If I wouldn't have put my hands on everything that came through, I wouldn't have known that there are 3 lawful penal facilities on our land, and none of them are in this part. It's Cuba, Guam, and Puerto Rico. We have things at our disposal that we can get rid of this stuff. And this is the last thing I'll say, and I'll turn it back over. I wrote a rap about the Moors, saying that our ancestors were here and they came over, but you have to realize that we're dealing with people that are plotting. They were created, and they got out of hand, and they have switched everything. We are not black. Black lives don't matter. We are white status with trillions of dollars in the bank, and everything Aboriginal and Indigenous belongs to us. We're not the visitors. We were here already. So I just will yield the floor. Grand rising to the Moors, and I'm glad to be home. Islam.
Yes. We're so glad that you're back. We are so glad that you're back, and we knew that you would shine like gold coming out of there. We knew it. I knew it because you're strong. And the Moors, listen, she was in there for 8 months, right, Empress?
Yes, Empress.
Yes. And the one thing, this is how you know Moors are ready for testing, and not all Moors are going to be tested with boot camp like that. Okay, I was tested with boot camp like that. It wasn't 8 months, but it was boot camp nonetheless. You still don't know how long you're going to be in there when you're tested in that manner. But the Moors have to know that there is no blame that can be assigned when you're testing. When you're testing, it's not a blame situation. It is, how am I going to do on this test right here? Am I going to stand and earn this vast estate, or am I going to fold and meet a worse situation? Because it's always going to be worse when we fight against the testing. We must be tested. You cannot have this much authority on this land and not be tested to see if you can handle this much authority. Sovereign authority is not a joke. It is, you have the authority. We all do. Each one of us, of the sovereign heirs, has the authority. The power of life and death is in our tongue. That cannot be taken lightly. We must be tested to see if we're going to handle that authority with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Okay? We have to be able to handle it that way. If we're not ready to handle it that way, the ancestors are going to continue to test us until we get that way. Okay? And one thing I've determined is I'm not going to to be tested repeatedly for the same thing, because that just gets to be frustrating. I'm going to yield to that which is within me, okay, because it's not outside of us. Our problems are not outside of us, they're within us. The solutions are not outside of us, they're within us. We are the all. I want to say one thing, I want to do one thing before we get started with the moorishe homeschooling. This is something that recently the ancestors put on our hearts to do. It was done where Princess Ali is concerned, and I want to just publicly do this demonstration so that we can, so that all the Moors who hear this can do the same demonstration. Okay, what was done, in addition to her standing strong, she did that. She got herself out. Okay, let's make that very clear. She got herself out by seeking and standing on her square. And all that the Moorish American Consular Court did, and I did this even just on the phone with her, is, you know, we've been doing court actions where the frauds are concerned, where the corporates are concerned. We've been doing court actions. And we now need to do court actions where our heirs and where the Moors are concerned. So the Moors that are locked up, for the Moors that are out here, whenever you get on the phone with them, you can do a court action where they are concerned too, because we need to speak over our Moors too. So what I did was our focus, I did a court action where Princess Ali was concerned as well, on the phone with her right then. And what I did was I stated that we know her true identity, because they're holding everyone under false identity. They are holding everyone under false identity. And so I said, we know who she is. We affirm that she is exactly one of us. She's an heir. She's one of us. We've affirmed her identity. She had already done a court action finding them guilty of unlawful occupation. So she had done her part. And then she continued to stand on her square. Okay. And then we said, she stated her true identity. And then we, the Moorish American Consular Court, found her innocent in all matters. And we have the sovereign jurisdiction. So we stated that, okay, that we have the sovereign jurisdiction. We find her innocent of all charges, and then all she had to do was proclaim that she's setting herself free. She's been found innocent of all charges by the highest court, okay? And the highest court is actually her, you, the heirs. That's what that's all about. So we have to start doing that with our Moorish kin who are incarcerated. We need to do court actions where those who are holding them are held accountable, and then we turn right around and we say we know who they really are, because that's the other side of that puzzle. We affirm their true sovereign identity. And when we affirm their true sovereign identity, we find them innocent of all charges, because those other people don't even have the authority to charge us with anything at all, ever. We can't fit in their capitalist system. We can't fit in their capitalist system. That's why everything we do is in lowercase letters, because you can't fit in that system like that. We are sovereign. We're not made for a capitalist system. We are made for a sovereign system. And that's us. So with that, I yield the floor to Empress Michelle. She's going to present some brilliant and powerful information with regard to moorishe homeschooling. There's nothing going on in our nation that we cannot fix and solve. Okay? Nothing going on in our nation that we cannot fix and solve. And so, Empress Michelle, I yield the floor as well. Islam.
Islam, peace and grand rising to all Moors. I just wanted to say, firstly, I tried to send the document, the first one that I wanted to put up on the screen, to Empress Malo. I don't know if you got the email to see if that was something that you would be able to put up, because I am not able to get it up, and Empress Light does not have the document up that I wanted to present first.
Empress, let me check my email. Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
I put a link in the chat. I think that link may show them the document.
Okay, because I can't see. I'm locked. I can't see. I can't maneuver the chat, so I'm not able to see anything. So if someone can read what's in the chat for me, I would appreciate that as well.
Chat in there. It's a Google Drive document.
Okay.
Can someone click on that document and see? It should say Holy Instructions for Children. Those who can see the chat, if you...
Okay, so there's two documents.
Yes, it takes you to the document.
Okay, one is Holy... Great. One is Holy Instructions for Thy Children, chapter 23, and then the second one is going to be the one that's just the words for study. So I just want to introduce myself to those who may not know me. I am Justice Michelle Austin, Talbot Bay in the Virginia Republic. I decided to do this presentation today because I know that there's a need for homeschooling our children more now than ever. When I started homeschooling about 30 years ago, maybe 28, 30 years ago, it was, as you can imagine,
Go ahead, Empress.
As you can imagine, it was not very popular back then. However, I knew that I could do a better job at teaching my children than what I saw was going on with them. So at the time that I started, I had 3 children. My oldest was going into the 4th grade, and the next to the youngest was going into the 2nd grade, and then I had one that was going to be starting kindergarten. So I actually had 3 different grade levels, but I knew that I can do the work. I found out that at that particular time, the requirement was only 3 hours of instruction to homeschool. I did not have to have a teaching degree, and all I needed to do was to make sure that my children got the instruction that was listed on the county school website for their particular grade levels and for the subjects. So I actually found that it was so easy. You can actually look into the workbooks that they sell at the grocery stores and at Staples. There was a store here called Zany Brainy, Borders Books. These stores have math books, reading books for different grade levels that I know that you have all seen. And what I did was I got the different grade levels for the math and the reading, the requirements, and I sent in the syllabus, which was just the table of contents for that particular subject. That is literally how easy it is. Okay. And I did that, and the children, we were able to go to different homeschool networking events with other homeschoolers and the testing and everything. So I just wanted to put that out there as a brief introduction, and now I would like to read the Holy Instructions for Thy Children from the Holy Quran, Circle 7. And this is chapter 23. And I am not seeing it on the screen. Is it actually up on the screen? The Holy Instructions,
no,
chapter.
The one that you put there is on the screen. Yes.
Okay. So
but they can see it if they clicked on the link.
Okay, so I'm going to read now from the Holy Quran, Circle 7, Chapter 23, and it's entitled, Holy Instructions for Thy Children. Number 1, consider thou art a parent, the importance of thy trust, the being thou hast produced. It is thy duty to support. Number 2, upon thee also it dependeth whether the child of thy bosom be a blissing or a curse to thyself, and useful or a worthless member to the community. Number 3, prepare him early with instruction, and season his mind with the maxims of truth. Number 4, watch the bent of his inclinations, set him right in his youth, and let no evil habit gain strength with his years. Number 5, so shall he rise like a cedar on the mountains. His head shall be seen above his gray hairs. Number 6, the soil is thine own. Let it not want cultivation. The seed which thou soweth, that also shall thou reap. Number 8, teach him obedience, and he shall bliss thee. Teach him modesty, and he shall not be ashamed. Number 9, teach him gratitude, and he shall receive benefits. Teach him teach him charity, and he shall gain love. Number 10, teach him temperance, and he shall have health. Teach him prudence, and fortune shall attend him. Number 11, teach him justice, and he shall be honored by the word. Teach him sincerity, and his own heart shall not reproach him. Number 12, teach him diligence, and his wealth shall increase. Teach him benevolence, and his mind shall be exalted. And number 13, teach him science, and his life shall be useful. Teach him religion, and his death shall be happy.
I put them in the chat as well, Empress, while you were reading them. Empress Michelle, are you there? If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I was going to say, yes, we can hear you.
And so, and I just want to finish by listing some resources and some videos, and all of which were not available when I was doing my homeschooling. But there is such a wealth of information available now to the heirs, and I know that there are heirs that prepare curriculums, and there are some empresses homeschooling, and my vision is to see us all connecting the resources with those who are in need of them. So we must know what it is that you need in order to help you with them. So those empresses who are in need of resources that have not been made available today, then we need to connect with each other so we know what we all need and can be the help that we need for our children. And I'm having difficulty pulling up that piece that I want to read with the instructions and the videos.
I started placing it in the chat, Empress. I have the first three in the chat, and then as you get to the fourth one, I'll place the rest of them in there.
Yes, great. Thank you, Empress. And I will answer any questions. I have the document. The first resource I have up there is the homeschoolmom.com, and that is a resource with lots of free information It's got subscriber downloads, homeschooling 101, a homeschool blog, all about deschooling, which is something that I felt I needed to do with my own children at the time. Different homeschooling styles, even homeschool for high school and even beyond. Help by subject and by curriculum. Homeschool planners for the moms.
You keep fading in and out, Empress. You may want to come a little closer to your microphone.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. I apologize for that. Of course, I have videos that you can go and look at on YouTube that Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey has up on nationality and adept and erudite teachings. And also he has a website, .org, that has instructional information in there as well. R.V. Bey Publications has a wealth of information for young and old. Please check out that website if you have not. Asir, the Duke of Tears, he is a Moorish historian, and his website is housespells.com.
I think this is awesome. I really do.
And thank you. And then
just one moment. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Empress.
Brother Jonathan Bey, he is a Moorish metaphysicist, and he deals with adept Moorish science. And I put some links to his videos there, some introduction videos. One of them is called Death of the Moorish Community, parts 1 and 2. And he has a Moor Talk video on YouTube, series 11.02, and that's called Returning to the Mindset of Your Ancient Forebearers. And then he has one that's called The Key, and that is very, very detailed. Okay, so he has many, many, many more videos. And also he has developed a social media website, which is an alternative to Facebook, and I would encourage the Moors to head over there and check it out. And he is doing some improvements on that site. It's called activemoors.com.
activemoors.com.
And of course, we have our etymologist, Abdul Talib Mosley Bey.
Yes.
And he is an author as well as an etymologist, and he's doing some other work as well. Like he has a book that I highly recommend called Moors and Masonry. I also want to have you all take a look at the website called Piercing the Veil of Illusion. And this is actually
Piercing the Veil of Illusion. Because you keep fading, Empress, for some reason. I don't know why, but we want to be sure we hear you. Islam.
Sure. Can you tell me what was the last thing you heard?
Piercing the Veil, and we didn't hear the rest of what that was. Piercing
the Veil of Illusion. That's the website, Piercing the Veil of Illusion. This is a website by a European Albion, a self-proclaimed WASP, White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. And she is revealing a lot of our ancient Moorish history. Her name is Michelle Gibson. And lastly, I just want to put out there that for those who want to keep up with the progress of their children, there is cetantesting.com. It's a website. They deal with, they have all types of homeschool progress and success materials where you can do the CAT testing and the standardized and nationalized testing that you can order and test your children right at your own domicile. And those that is a resource that I did use at the time when I was homeschooling. And of course, there are many, many, many more options out there. Some that you know can use currency or finances for, but many you don't have to. And I would encourage those who are going to begin homeschooling, and I hope that is everybody on this call, because it's so important for us to take care of our own children, that you know, you really don't have to spend anything in terms of anything that you don't already have. We have pretty much everything that we need in our nation, and I hope that we can call on those to help if that is the case, if there's some assistance that we may need. And with that, I will take any questions. I yield now.
Islam, may I interject just quickly, Empress? This is Empress Light. The purpose of this is to marry what's already out there with what we're learning as we grow as a Moorish nation and government. That's what this is marrying the two together, sort of, but not really. Because at some point we're going to move all the way over into more. This is just the transition. Transition is a better word. Marry is not a good word. Transition is better. In terms of their teaching the children and developing our own, or redeveloping our own erudition system for our nation. Our children never have to go back to those corporate schools, corporate POW schools. Never, ever, ever have to go back to that. We are a government. We are the law. We are the government. And any documents or anyone, and this is one thing, Empresses, you're going to have to demonstrate, is that your children don't have to go there. Because those people they may want to insist that your children go there. That's for animals. It's not for the heirs. And it's up to us to competently demonstrate that. Islam, I yield, Empress.
Islam, I'll be happy to take any questions.
Islam. Islam.
Islam.
I just like to add, how to say Camelback. 1973, I put all my children in Moorish Science Temple of America school, like the prophet said. But they 36, 40 years old, and 44. So it's not new. So y'all keep. You can do it, because I did it. 1973. Now I'm 70. Yeah, so it's not new. The prophet said, get that school. We never got the paper. Thanks to our door, we got the paper. But I did put my children in school in 1973. It is not new. It was recognized by the Board of Education too. So it's about the same thing. It's not new. I yield.
It's fine. Any questions, comments, concerns?
It's on. This is Muriel.
It's fine, Justice Muriel.
It's on. Just wanted to add something. I also homeschool my girls. They're both now going to college. But one thing I learned the hard way is, and not necessarily the hard way, is I studied and thought about the things that our ancestors did when they started with the children when they were like at age 7, giving them lessons to build their character. And what I noticed was that most of the things that they did was build around the interests of the child. So, like, if you go in with the mindset that I'm going to teach them all this stuff that they would normally be getting in the education system, I realized that that was not a good way to start it, because you may as well put them back into their system. So if you have a child and they have an interest, say I have one that had an interest in art, and I have one that had an interest in animals. She loved animals. So you can take that subject, any subject that they're interested in, and build everything around it as it relates to math and science and our story. Everything can be built around that instead of trying to encompass what they would give them their stories, their history in school. So for me, that helped a lot, and it also helps with the character building of the children. And folks always would say to me, well, you know, they're not out and around with people a lot. But for me, it was great because we didn't have to be concerned about the time that they have to go to school early in the mornings, or just being able to travel at particular intervals when they had, like, holidays or whatever. We could travel anywhere we wanted to, when we wanted to, because they could still do their lessons wherever we were. And because it was built around what they were interested in, they always had something to do. I yield.
And I found that people wanted to know, you know, how I could teach 3 different grade levels, and it was not difficult. You just tailor it to their level of comprehension. So for those who have multi-grade levels and children going into different grades, whatever the subject is, you just modify it for that particular level. And I made sure that every time we left out of the home, it was a learning experience. Those life experiences are your teachings. Every time you're interacting with your child, that's a teaching moment. And those can count as hours. We've always been their first teachers. Islam? Go ahead, Justice.
Islam. I wanted to camel back on the teaching methods, but by adding a little something into it, which I had some 20 years of doing, even before I knew anything about my Moorish American connections in California. And what I found through experience was that you took the youngest of the children, because that was the smartest one in the crowd. They had the less chance of being really messed up by the parents and peers and surroundings. You take the youngest one and work with that one's comprehension, and it'll push everybody up. Because the older one isn't necessarily smarter. In fact, is definitely not as advanced as the younger one. That is the way that it always worked. And I had an interesting example of that very thing today. I'm walking in the store, shopping at Wally World, and a Moorish woman comes by with a baby in her cart, and they're holding a conversation with each other. And I mean, a baby couldn't be 2 years old. And they're holding a straight up conversation they're doing it in English, of course, but the baby's coming up with, the baby knew. It's like, you just have to have seen it. But again, I've experienced that over the years when I was coaching, and when I saw what the school system was doing with my own children, and it works. Take from the youngest, and that'll lift everybody else. It really will. Islam.
Anyone else have questions, concerns, comments?
Please forgive me, Islam. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
I'm a little stage shy. I don't know why. I think I don't even explain it right. What I'm saying is, in 1973, I was taking my children to the Moorish Science Temple of America because the prophet said we needed school. I was driving my car, taking them every morning. We had Moorish teachers, and what I'm saying, those children are so intelligent. I was amazed. I was astounded. You learn more when you be with your own people. But they was teaching them the 101. I'm serious. This is 73, and what I'm saying is, the system does accept that. They really do. They want us to do that. I don't know what the problem is, but now keep in mind, I was 23. Now I'm 70, and I hear this like it's so hard. They really want us to be ourselves, and they want us to stop playing. You know, most people are good. Like the prophet said, they make good farmers. You can't get rid of all of them. They make good farmers, and some about peas and beans. But it's a benefit. I urge you to get your own school, teach your own children, and that way you can give them the 101 about humanity, one foot on the rock, and one in the water, and save the women, and I ain't really crazy about men, but you know, I praise Mama for you know, getting us here. A sister like she is so sweet about that ancestry. I really believe in that. You know, before I know my man now, I might have been a woman had a baby with my daggone self. So please get that school going because it is so necessary. The Board of Education, I'm from Philadelphia, PA. They call it Shackle Maxim. The Phoenician of Philadelphia, I guess. But that's our problem. We waiting on Mama, like Delilah said. We waiting on Mama now. I'm depending on you, you know. So, you know, I don't want to leave here until, you know, if anything I can do. But I am stage fright, you know. So I'm just trying to encourage y'all. That's all.
Islam.
I yield. Okay.
Islam. Thank you, Justice Frank. I wanted to say also, the school is already started, and it starts at home at the domiciles right now with those who are here on this call, and those who hear this call on YouTube. The school is already started. This can be started today because we already know that everything that we do is autonomous. It's done by us. So it's autonomically done within us. And so at home now, and I say the matriarchs, but there may be some patriarchs also, I'm sure there are, who are raising the children, and the research and everything, you know, there are enough resources right now, even on the screen, where homeschooling can start today no matter what age group the children are in. It's just a matter of how badly do we want this? How badly do we want to keep our children from being vaccinated, and et cetera, and having to deal with that situation? How badly do we want our children to know who they really are? Because that system is not going to tell them. We have to do it, and we have to do it under the watchful eye of us and no one else. So that I'm grateful for this information that Empress Michelle has brought forth, because we can start today. In fact, I proclaim that it's already started, and that this time where COVID, quote unquote, COVID is concerned, they're not going to classes anyway. So you don't ever have to take them back to a corporate setting. They can stay right at home with mother and father and learn what they need to learn there, regardless of even what the schedule is. They can learn it. There's enough resources there. Pull from those resources, put it together with Moorish science, and then you're raising Moorish scientists. Okay? And the ones that are actually in a class, we don't want to go back to that because they're waiting there with a needle with some foreign substance in it that they want to put in the children's arms and into their system. Islam, I yield.
Islam, and in some places they are locking the children down in these facilities, and none of us want to have to deal with that. So I know that there is enough information for those who want to start immediately, and that was the purpose of putting together the information that I did. And also there are some words for further review, defining, that I thought would be interesting, and they can be broken down to different age levels as well. I yield.
Empress, if you want to just read those words out for those who are on the phone and can't see the screen or anything.
Yes, Islam. I have to pull them up again. Give me one more.
Okay, and there was someone who said Islam with a question while she's pulling those up.
Yes, this is Empress Messiah Bay. Since we're on the topic of the children, and we're talking about school, but I'm talking about the children, but not school. There's a lot of children being taken through the, I guess I wouldn't say the welfare system, but the state system, where they taking the children and they putting parents in incarcerating the parents. And I have a granddaughter and her siblings that just recently got taken and is in the system, and I'm trying to find a way to get them out.
Islam. Islam. Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So, Empress, what needs to be done, there's a few things that need to be done. The first thing that needs to be done is you and the children's nationality does need to be proclaimed on the public record. That's number one. And that's just a name change affidavit. Okay? And that does not go through their system. It stays with the government, which is us. You're the government. For the children, you're their government. And then
Islam. I'm only the grandmother to one of the grandchildren, but her siblings, and the mom is not my biological. And she just she's in jail, and so she just went on the record today saying that she gave me the right to proclaim her nationality. So I'm going to do that.
She can, you can assist her with that. You can't proclaim for her because no one represents the Moors, but you can assist her in a name change document, Empress, so that you can, yes, she has to proclaim for herself, and then it's up to her to make the proclamation to set herself free from there. Okay, there are a couple of court actions that need to be done. You can do those as well. You are a justice. Okay, anyone of the bloodline and birthright is a justice, and it's a 10-minute process. It's a 10-minute process. There is some study that must go along with it, and that is where the time is put in at, is with the study. Okay.
Okay, but they not letting her have her regular rights, even as her being a citizen. They're not letting her make calls. They're not letting her. They not even giving her a court date for what that she's in there for. I'm really trying to work for her. Okay,
so they can't give her a court date because that's not a real court. We're the real court.
Yeah, I know.
So then we give the court date. We do that. You do that. You can do that. That's something you can do. All Moors can do that. Okay, and then where citizens' rights are concerned, in reality, the citizens don't have any rights. You must declare, you must declare a nationality.
Exactly.
Okay? And so they don't have rights, and they're showing everyone who thinks they're a citizen, they're already showing them that they don't have any rights.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's up to her and to you to work together to get that done. Okay, the list is not long of things that need to be done, but the study must be done, and then there must be sincerity with what you study. Okay. And if you need any assistance with that, in fact, let me get your, I will give you my number, and you can send me a text message to let me know that it's you calling, and then let you and I connect on that.
Okay, you got my email. I can re-give it to you.
Well, if you give it to me on here, it's gonna be on the public record if you don't mind that.
I don't care.
I always put okay. Islam. What's your email, Empress?
It's Empress Nasya, Nasya Day. At Yahoo. At Yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. And so, are you? We will talk with regard to, and just for those who are listening, these are the things that I'm going to tell her on the call when I speak with her. The things I'm going to tell her on the call with regard to the children and to that whole process. And Empress, I may mute just a moment so that we can be sure that they can hear. Empress, if you'll star 6 for just a moment, and then if you have anything that you want to chime in about, go ahead and star 6 again, and it will let you chime in and say whatever is on your heart. So what I'm going to tell her is this. Nationality must be declared, and then you declare nationality for the children, okay, especially the ones. And now remember, those people who are attempting to take children, they don't have guardianship over anyone or anything. So we can even claim, if there are children that are seemingly abandoned or whose parents are maybe incarcerated, we speak with the incarcerated, get them to and speak with them about declaring their nationality as well, okay? And when they declare their nationality, like she said, the mother has given her permission to do some things and to assist her, not represent her, but assist her in getting the children, okay? And so declare nationality, declare it for the children, have it so there is the mother's signature is for the children's nationality document, and then everything should be in red in all lowercase letters, and then terminate all corporate contracts all across the board. Terminate all corporate contracts, and that's a matter of just a few sentences in a paragraph that says that all corporate contracts, and corporate is in uppercase letters, and it's also corporate with a capital C and the rest lowercase. When you say we terminate all corporate contracts on the public record, and that no United States corporation, company, citizen has personam jurisdiction over these children, and state the children's sovereign-born names in all lowercase letters, and that all corporate contracts are hereby terminated, and the children are the creditors to all of the nations of the earth. And once that is done, then we commence with court action. Liens and court actions. Lien everyone who is attempting to make a claim on the heirs. Lien them. Lien anyone doing business as departments of health and human services and children and family welfare and all of that fraudulent stuff, because they don't do anything. And if anything, the heirs are giving them sandwiches when they don't need them. Okay, and then Justice Jiramore has placed in the chat, he says, Moors, keep the children out of any organized corporate school system starting right now. Yes.
Islam.
Absolutely.
Islam.
They do not need to be in those corporate schools. You're the government, mother. You're the government. Empress Michelle, go ahead.
I was just saying, right, they need to stay out of those institutions by any means necessary. Whatever we have to do to keep our babies safe, because they're not safe there.
No,
Just
not
are not.
at all. And now they're talking about being able to keep the children locked in the school overnight.
I can't even imagine that. I can't.
Talking about drills and active shooters. All of that. And there's no telling what animalistic situations are going to be created in those situations. Our children are not animals. They are the heirs, and they must not go to those places. Islam. Go ahead, Empress.
Islam. Yeah. So I just want to go over the words that I placed there for further research, and of course you can add to the list. I just started with A. They're not really in alphabetical order in terms of, once I started just putting them out there. But the first word I have is adept lessons. The next word is a maxim. These are all that we need to define. American, antebellum, Asiatic, art, affirmation, alliance. I have a maxim twice, my apologies. Astronomy, arithmetic, Arabic, ancestors, astrology, Ayurveda, architecture, awareness, archaeology, Aboriginal/Aborigines, baking, breath or breathe, biology, benevolence, beneficiary, banking, black, being, cooking, citizen, cobbler, chemistry, computers, calendar, clock of destiny, cosmology, community, current events, cosmetology, community centers, cultivation, consular court, duty, dictionary, de jure, de facto, dressmaker, doulas, diligence, divine, exalted, erudite, economics, etymology, empire, entrepreneur, epistemology, exercise, edible weeds, energy, focus, father, freedom, fishing, feng shui, fitness, farming, government, gardening, geography, genius, geometry, honor, herbology, history, hygiene, health, instruction, inclination, intuition, Islamism, indigenous, Iroquois, justice, jurisprudence, juvenile, jurisdiction, law, language, library, love, mother.
You need to put.
Empress Michelle, thank you so much for that information. Also, this information, Empress Michelle, if you will post the information in Moorish American, all of the pages, public records, Moorish American Consulate public records page, so that the Moors there can access the information as well. They're going to need it, the ones who could not make the call today, so that we can continue with our own erudition, learning and teaching for our own heirs. Islam. And with that, let me see. Are there any other questions for Empress Michelle at all? Yes, Justice Gilmore in the chat. We have already saved our. Yes, we have, or those people wouldn't keep coming in here. We've already escaped and saved ourselves, and there was really nothing to escape from. We already did it.
May I interject? Y'all are so correct, and I am so proud of y'all. Girl, y'all are kicking butt. I'm muted.
Islam. When commenting that we have already saved ourself, notice I put that in the singular.
Yes.
We are one.
Yes.
And as one, we've never been anywhere other than here, and we'll never be anywhere other than here, because everywhere is here. Everywhere is here right now. Understand this?
Yes.
This is the we are working in the etheric worlds and just touching on this physical experience right now, and you know, those who don't understand it, which are those who usually want to try to stop it, they don't know that they are the ones we are now working to save, because they don't have the ability to take in that information yet. Islam.
Are there any other questions, comments? Also, if any of you empresses, hold on for just a moment. There's a little bit of noise coming from a few of the lines here. If you could star 6 if you know you have noise coming in your background. More, Empress Michelle, do we want to? Go ahead, Empress.
No, you were asking a question. I just wanted to let you know I was here.
Okay. Do we want to maybe meet weekly on this call with regard to the curriculum, or do you want to have a separate call for the homeschooling? Because I actually think it's worth a separate call, but we can talk about that offline. Any emphasis here? Do you want this homeschooling to become something where we all come together weekly to continue to refine and perfect the curriculum for the children, for the heirs?
I'm available.
Islam, yes, I would just say so.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Well, why don't we? Is everyone okay with this call being for homeschooling, and then the Thursday call will be for other things?
Okay.
Yes.
Islam?
We can do that. Islam.
Or you can make it a couple of hours then.
Yeah, maybe half of that. Inshallah. You can maybe do a half hour, maybe an hour for the homeschool checkup for the Sunday call, and in case there's some information that needs to be put out regarding the other part of the nation building.
Yes.
Is that okay with everyone?
However you want to do it.
Islam.
Yes.
Yes, Islam.
Islam. It is done. Islam.
Go ahead, Empress.
Islam. I have a story for those that may have their children in those animal schools. That would quickly probably help them change their minds and pull them out very fast. But I had one of my children going to one of those schools a few years back. After that, I took all my children out the schools. And one day they had it where, I guess, for lunch, they were giving children some those big pretzels. And the children were eating the pretzels, but they wouldn't let the children eat anything else but those big pretzels. And the children were getting sick from the pretzels, and they forced them to stay in class. and not leave. And the ones that were getting sick, they called them to the office. And I remember hearing one little boy was airlifted to the hospital, and he was not seen again. Some people said that he may have died, and the school was very quiet about it. They didn't say anything. They didn't give any documents on it, any letters or anything on what was going on. It just so happened that how I found out is because they had one of those hazmat tents up, and, you know, we seen a helicopter. They wouldn't let the children call to speak to any parents, and they were like monitoring the children to see if they were going to be sick, and they would not let them go to the bathroom. They couldn't throw the pretzel away or anything. They had to sit there, and they monitored them, and anybody that looked like they were getting sick, you had to go straight to the office. And I remember my daughter saying some of the children were not eating it, and some of the other ones that were eating it, they tried to pretend like they were not sick because no one wanted to leave the class. Because they didn't want to, you know, leave and have to possibly go to the hospital or something. Like I said, it was at least I know one child, but it may have been a couple that was not even that was never seen again. And some people were saying, and she was really, really young at the time, so she couldn't really comprehend exactly what was going on. But I remember asking her, you know, everything that happened after we picked her up. We seen the tents, and we're like, what is that? Why did they have these hazmat tents? And why didn't they send anything home about what was going on? And it looked like it was one of they were doing one of those tests or whatever that they do on the Moors, because there was tons of Moors in the school. There's predominantly Moors in the school. And whatever they were doing to the children, they were doing something that didn't need to be, that was in the food, and they were forcing it on the children, making them sick on purpose, and then snatching them away. So I don't know if it was just, you know, kidnapping or whatever that they were doing, but it happened. And after that, I took all my children out of school, and it's been several years now. But I just wanted to tell you that was a horror story. And
Islam, yeah,
I yield.
Islam.
Go ahead, Justice Junior.
I want to camel back on that, what you were saying, because 30 years ago in California, I actually observed these things happening because I was going to the schools and seeing some of the things, and I would remember every time I walked in through the gates, I felt like I was walking into something, not just a simple concentration camp, but like a death camp. And what they're doing in the schools today, or what they were doing back in World War II and before, it's the Tuskegee experiments all over. So if anybody wants to keep their children in there, that's what you're submitting them to. And the children don't know any better, or they would play hooky every darn day you sent them there. I know how I got out of stuff. I played hooky. And that's why it never got to tamper with my mind or my body. So, know it's that important. Otherwise, we'll just have to start telling the children to do what they need to do. Because it's that kind of time happening right now. And so, you know, we must concentrate on the higher things, which is to help them develop their minds, not to help them learn any of
Pauline, you're a big old fucking fraud.
So, otherwise you'll get a lot of beasts like that thing, you know, that come up as children, as grown-up fools. Islam.
We can't expect anything other than that from them. So as long as we know that, we continue to move forward and do what we're supposed to do. Islam.
I've read that in the city of Chicago that they were taking children by busloads to the hospital, and they don't have covert, and they're doing experimentations on them. So yeah, with the relations to the schools, they was giving away the flu shot last year and making it mandatory that the children take it. And my grandson, my son was up there and he told them no, and they kept telling him, yeah, they have to get this flu shot, and he told them no. He kept telling them no, and then they got the mother alone, and she gave them permission to give the 3 boys the flu shot while my son wasn't present, and then they were sick after they had got that flu shot. So yeah, they are experimenting on them, and if they in the public school system, it's public, so they can do anything they want to you or your children. I yield.
Islam. Was there anyone else who had a question or comment?
I have a comment. Islam. I'm Portia Talib El Bay from the Michigan Territory. I just really would like to thank you for this conference call. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of getting teary-eyed because
Empress.
It's okay. Empress.
Baby, I know what you're talking about. I understand. You brilliant too. You're more brilliant.
You can do it, Portia.
I have been trying to get my son out of school, and I didn't know. And I know that it's a higher power because I see the blessing of school down. That was my opportunity to take my son out. So,
yes.
For that child. Thank you all. Put this together so I can start teaching, but I really feel for those that are still out there. And that's all I use. Islam.
Islam. I want to just say I spoke with Empress Portia, and we talked, and I'm going to share what I think she was not able to say just now because she's very emotional. And she mentioned to me that, her son wanted to stay home and that this shutdown became an opportunity for all of us, really, who were looking for a way to keep our children home without the repercussions. And she also mentioned about the trust issue now,
We can't hear you, Empress.
Empress Michelle, we can't hear you. Empress Michelle? Empress Michelle? If you're talking, we can't hear you. And it's not showing muted here either. Islam? I will say this, we are our own savior. We are our own savior when it comes to the heirs and everything that has to do with us. We can watch what they eat because they're home with us. We can make sure that they don't have that they're not in any danger because they're there with us. And so, school is in session, or erudition, teaching and learning is in session. And it starts with mother. It starts with mother. We have no reason whatsoever. Empress Michelle, are you there? We have no reason to take children back to that because we've proven now. Yeah, Justice Malik, it's no worries. Let them do what they may. We're not worried about that, Justice Malik. Don't worry about it, and it'll stop. Okay. But this is the prime opportunity. This whole COVID thing means that everything about our nation is wide open in terms of what we can do, what we're in control of, and everything. There's nothing to stop us at all. So let's continue to move forward. I'm so grateful for this group, this nation, this government, and when I say this group, I meant the ones on the phone. But this nation and this government, I'm so grateful because the answers are showing up every day. The solutions are showing up. They're here. We are the solution. We all are the solution. Empress Michelle, I'm wondering if she's able to make it back. Let me just be sure that, hopefully that's her.
She might.
Nope, that wasn't her. Okay, so we want to be sure that the information is there. And again, we don't have to set this up. It can be set up however Mother wants it to be set up. Okay, so however you want to. And what Empress Michelle told me previously was that when she was homeschooling her children, when she was homeschooling her children, there was no set. There was like about what was required by that Albion corporate system was only 3 hours a day. Meanwhile, our children, we can teach them 24/7, really. Like she was saying, every time they went out the door, it was a field trip. Everything that we say,
Pauline, you're a fucking fraud.
Anyway, anything that we say and do, they're watching it and they're learning from it anyway. So we can continue that. And then as we continue to grow and move forward, we're going to be able to, we're going to have our own buildings and everything else about, we'll have our own buildings, our own structures and everything. The curriculum and everything is already set up. It's already out there. Okay, all we have to do is pull it together like we're doing everything else. Our courts are operating because we just said, you know what, we're just going to do it. We did it, and now they cannot have any say over the moor. And this is the same way with our erudition temples. I don't even like the word schools. We use it occasionally, but I don't even like the word school.
You're a total liar. You're a fool and a liar, Pauline. You're like
it sounds like he's having some communication issues.
From Washington State.
Doesn't it sound like he's having some communication issues?
Yes.
Look at our ancestors. I didn't even have to mute him. He sounds like he is from outer space at this point. Except he's not.
Listen to that.
And I'm not doing
I'll
anything.
change him into a yapping chihuahua.
He sounds like a monster.
You don't have a false plate on your tongue either, Sarah.
He does sound like a monster.
Wow.
He sounds like a monster.
Okay, enough with the entertainment. Go ahead, Empress.
Sarah has a bay, and if everyone could keep in mind that there are young adults and children listening to the call, so when this person calls in, the name calling is not necessary. Thank you. Islam.
Yes, we're not going to allow him to call names and say
I'm
things.
I'm gonna quote Melo.
And we're not going to.
Melo talked about.
He's very disrespectful, as you can see.
Melo said you can't touch this.
Islam
Melo,
is a
you did a quote one day that you can't touch this. Well, that's good because we love you too, but all of your bullshit.
We can pick
all of your bullshit's not going to work. You people are all ridiculous. When are you going to take over the post office? Hey, Pauline, why don't you take over a post office on October 31st?
Peace and love.
You're going to have a whole bunch of people with you on October 31st. Why don't you take over a post office on that day?
Love you in time.
Well, you know, all the love
We leave you in time.
Peace
We love you, Dawn.
Oh,
We love you, Dawn.
that's okay.
We love you. We love
Fine,
you.
give me some peace and love there. That's fine.
And we leave you in
Sounds
love.
good to me.
Peace and love. Grand rising. Peace and love.
We're teaching the youth peace and love.
Come and get me. I'm 70 years old. I'm going to take my belt off and beat your butt.
Islam.
Okay.
So,
know that
Islam air.
Peace and love. Islam. Thyself, law, and master. Thank you.
Okay.
Philadelphia going to get you the city of brotherly love.
Islam.
Islam members, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Patricia L. Bay in North Carolina Territory. I'm Portia's mother.
Yes.
What she was trying to say is she had been looking for some help with this for months, for a curriculum for her son. And was it Michelle, that Empress Michelle came on and gave a wealth of information, just what she needed. And that's why she was so emotional. So, thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Islam. You're welcome. Islam.
Thank you, Michelle, so much for that. Morris, let's just give her Michelle, Empress Michelle, some love too. Let's send her some love and strength and energy as well.
Peace and love,
Michelle.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Grand rising. Grand rising.
Peace and love,
Thank you.
Michelle. You are filled with information. You always come on and give us a lot of information.
Islam. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yes.
We are one. We are united. We are united. Islam.
Yes. Islam. Well, Morris, I'm telling you, I'm leaking a little bit over here. Oh boy. We are one indeed. There is nothing that can stop us. Nothing that can stop us. Nothing that can stop this Moorish nation, Islam. We are going to go ahead and pare the call down, and I'm looking forward to next time. Let's make it a goal to have at least a syllabus ready. If we can have just a basic syllabus ready, a general syllabus ready. Is that doable, Empresses? And this is actually to the Empresses who are on the call, who are going to be doing the research for your heirs.
Islam,
that's an excellent idea.
Everybody can come up with their syllabus and we can all discuss what we want to have as curriculum.
Yes, let's do that. Yes, let's do that.
Next Sunday's call.
This Sunday, yes, this next Sunday. We'll do this every Sunday, at least for 30 minutes to an hour or more if we need more time. Of course, we're never going to limit the amount of time, but this is important. This is the heirs we're talking about. So let's do this. So for next Sunday, have your syllabi ready for your heirs. And if anyone, the mothers, the matriarchs who, if you may not even have young heirs, but if you want to bring something to contribute as well, that's going to be great. And then we can compare what we have and meet and see, what we can do to assist one another in getting the syllabi out. And we can share the syllabi as well, and then go into how that's going to work. Go ahead, Empress.
I would like to donate a syllabus for herbs and health. My daughter was from 5th grade to 12th grade in an online Sankofa school, Aya Ed, and she's on the dean's list now, but I did an herb class for her middle school, the 21 essential herbs that will help you redo your body.
Yes, Islam. Empress Princess, can you, for next Sunday, can you upload that to Google Drive if you have Google Drive, and then put a link to it in the chat so that everyone can access it?
Okay, I will.
Yes. And those
Empress,
who have
also.
Go ahead, Empress. Go ahead, Empress.
No, it's also, can she just put it on the record, grid on the Facebook record?
She can put it on. Yes, Empress Princess. If you can, are you on social media, Empress Princess?
Yes, I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. Can you put it on the public records page? Can you upload that to the public records page? And then
which region, or just the main one?
It will be moorishe American Consulate Public Records.
Okay, I'll put it up there tonight.
Yes. And then if you want to share it on the other pages, share it on the other pages too, and that way the more there can get it as well. And then next Sunday, everyone who has syllabi, and also Empress Princess, if you can, everyone can upload their syllabi to the Google Drive, and then we can each look at each other's syllabi next Sunday, because we'll be able to put a link in the chat, and when we click on the link, we'll be able to see your syllabi and provide some feedback. Okay? So let's take it that way, and let's do it that way for starters, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound like a plan, or are we okay with that?
Yes.
Is that okay, Empresses who are here, and Emperors who have the young heirs with you that you're going to be homeschooling?
Islam.
And then Islam. Are there any emperors that are going to be homeschooling? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, this is Empress Carla. I'm going to homeschool my grandson.
Islam. Okay. Well, Empress Carla, when you have some time this week, if you'll put just a general syllabus, it doesn't have to be too detailed unless you want it to be detailed, but put just a basic syllabus and put their, we can put their grade level, but that's going to be fluid. Everything that we do is going to be fluid. It's going to be changing and adding to and all of that over time.
Yes, I can take care of that. She's going to be in the 9th grade.
Beautiful. So that's 9th grade is covered.
Yes.
Is there anyone who, yes, Justice Marcel, he says in the chat he's going to be active in this endeavor as well. Beautiful. So we have an emperor who's going to be participating as well. Beautiful. Emperor Yaqub, if you have some information, please bring it next time and provide a link to it so we can all look at it as well. And we'll just take it from there. Okay. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for this week. This was very, very productive. So much beautiful information. We'll be everyone bring what you have, because there's going to be someone else who can use what you have. Okay. There's a lot of okay, I got it. There's so there's going to be someone who can use whatever it is that you have. Okay.
Islam. Eventually, I see those of us who have some of the skills that were in the words that I put out, like those who know gardening and herbology and sewing. My vision is to see the heirs who are skilled in those areas to do a presentation for the children, you know, and just to have a variety in the community, and that is something that just really branches out, especially with the conference calls. You know, we can do things right from the comfort of our own domiciles, but still put the knowledge out to the other tribal members. And with that, I yield.
Yes, Islam.
I'd like to just provide a little bit of information about when putting together curricula and any kind of teaching or lesson plans. Everything you've learned so far is great, but the reality is we are actually coming out of this, we'll be at least 500 to 1,000 years ahead of right now. So push whatever you're doing that you're going to be putting in there as a curriculum, push it as far ahead as you can. And then take another 100% and put on that. Because that's what will really make the jump. What happened, we have deliberately kept ourselves in this physical domain mentally, and now it's time to push out of it. But push way out, so far out that you can't see the fence mentally that you're dealing with.
Yes. Yes.
Islam.
Yes, Islam. 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 Let's do it. Let's do it. Islam. Are there any other questions, comments, etc.? Anything else? Islam. So we will go ahead and pare the call down for this week and get prepared for next week. We are having the call on Wednesday with Empress Delilah Passy L. She is teaching us the foundational principles for our nation. And then we have our call on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then this call is always at 6 p.m. Eastern on at the same time on Sunday. I want to read just a little bit before. Yes, go ahead, Empress. Go ahead, Empress.
Are y'all going to have any more court actions? Because I missed the one yesterday. I thought it was going to be today, and I missed it.
Yes, there are always going to be court actions going on. I have a few coming up. I'll be putting them on social media.
I bet when you yank Milo's chain, she barks for you.
I'll be putting them on social media.
Okay.
So that they can. Are you on social media, Empress?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So those times, and then I see in the chat what time is the Wednesday. The Wednesday call is at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and it's on the same free conference call as well. So Wednesdays at 12 noon Eastern, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern are our national calls where we just talk to one another, we talk things out, we learn from one another, we share information, and now it's time for homeschooling of the heirs on Sundays, so we're looking forward to that and to sharing the information there as well. There's a couple that, so we're looking forward to all of that. I want to read something really quickly before we go, because we're finding out so much about the names of everything, and the names are going back to what they were previously in terms of our land going back to, for example, it's not Alaska, it's Al-Aqsa. That's really what Alaska is it's actually Al-Aqsa. It is, Alaska is a hypothecation of Al-Aqsa. And we know that this is the great Maghrib, Al-Aqsa. But Matthew, the 16th chapter, verse 18 and 19, and that is Matthew. Okay, that's really the name of that. It's M-A-T-H space Y-O-U. That's what that really is, Matthew, the 16th chapter, verses 18 and 19 says, on this rock I will build my church. Okay, that's all hypothecation. It really is on this rock as in Alma Rock. Everyone knows that this is the rock that is referred to, where the temple is, and we are the temple. On this rock, Alma Rock, I will build my ecclesia, or government, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Gates always means government, okay? Gates means government. We are the North Gate, which is the highest government, okay? Look in the chat. Empress Michelle has placed her phone contact information in the chat for those who need it with regard to homeschooling before Sunday. So if you all want to discuss syllabi and things before Sunday, Empress Michelle has placed her phone number there in the chat so that you can do that, okay? And then verse 19 says, and whatever we bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever we loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And that's what we say after every court action. Amin, dico vobis, que cum que ego veritas, and I say ego veritas because it means I, whatever I say. And I can even say sumus veritas, which means whatever we say. Sumus is we in Latin. Amen dico vobis, que cum que sumus veritas, superterum erunt legata et in coelo. Que cum que sumus sol veritas, superterum erunt soluta et in coelo. There is a court action that has been placed in the chat as well. 3:30. Justice Welton, do you want to tell them about? I don't ever want to speak for anyone else. I prefer that. Justice Welton, do you want to tell them about?
Y'all placing it in the chat. Are y'all going to place it on the website? Because I'm on the call. I'm not on the website right now.
Yes, it'll be placed on not necessarily the website, because the website requires real-time changing, but we always put it on social media, on Moorish American Consulate Public Records page, Moorish American Consulate West, Moorish American Consulate Southeast, Canaan Land, Northeast, etc. So everything that we do is being put out there. Moorish American Consulate Arizona Territory. Everything goes out on those pages. Okay, so it will be out there. And then under this video, because this video will go on to YouTube, so under this video there will be links to the documents that Empress Michelle put out there, and also under this video, Justice Welton's court action and any other court actions will be placed under there as well. So I'm starting to be able to get the court actions put on YouTube under the videos in the notes, okay? Go ahead. Are there any other questions, comments, etc.?
Hello, Islam?
Yes, go ahead, Empress Shadai. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to just give a little bit of my demonstration that I've been doing. As people may know from one of the last previous calls, I stated that I was doing something from, as far as my domicile, trying to save it from foreclosure, because they were going through foreclosure action. However, they were not given any of the information about the court action. They were not sending it to the domicile. So bottom line, what I did was I did all the work, everything Light has been telling us to do from day one. All that stuff had been done. But I did that court action that you attended, Light, not too long ago. And then, you know, I gave them a default judgment and et cetera. And then what I did, and I'm telling everybody else this too, when it comes to foreclosures, I've been a real estate broker for years. I did real estate. I was into real estate as far as being a broker, also the lending process before I found out anything about what I know now, and was rehabbing homes and stuff like that. So what I'm saying that can potentially help the people when you're doing your demonstrations, make sure that you come in every territory. There's going to be, like in whatever county, there's going to be a place where they hold the judicial sales. Okay, and for us, I'm in the Illinois territory. There's a place called the Judicial Sale Corporation, and then there's always going to be a title company attached. I put them there. I'm doing a court action on the Judicial Sale Corporation that does all the foreclosures for Cook County, as well as they have a title company. When I say attached, like literally the guy that's VP for the judicial sale place is like the president of the title company. And I went and I sent all the information that I sent to the courts and everyone else. I sent it to them. And I'm going to tell you what changed immediately, because they weren't giving me anything. I had to go to pacer.com to see, because at the time the administrator, calling himself a judge, had put down, he had granted them the sale already. So he had granted them, saying that they had the right to sell. And then, what was that, September 10th that just passed, they were supposed to be putting a commissioner of the sale in place. And that's the person that's going to do the sale to the public, that investors and banks and so have you come in, and then they purchase the property, or, you know, in the manner that they try to do under the deed, which we know that's not real title, but nevertheless, that's what they do. You have to come after them. Come after and put, do all your processes as far as your court actions, and give the same documents that you give to the court to them. Because all I can tell you is they got those documents on September 7th, and by September 9th, I looked in Pacer. He had already, the alleged judge had already removed the court that was supposed to be for the 10th, when they was going to put the commissioner in place. He removed that court date, but then he also removed the grant that he gave them to sell the property. That's key, because that stopped him. And then he made up some excuse of the reason why he did that. And now check this out. Now, for people that know anything about how their court systems work, he put that, I think this is his excuse to get out of it and then try to completely squash the whole court action. But this is his excuse. He said it's because of the fact that the plaintiff did not submit his paperwork in Word format to the judge, is the reason why he canceled and then took back the grant of the sale. When have you ever heard of them asking for something to be in Word format? So what? So the judge can edit it? Like, they never want anything, for anybody that's new to this, they never want anything in Word format to where it can be edited by anyone. But that was his excuse. I know what it was. And then he tried to set court date for November 12th after the election. I think this is just his way of trying to get out of the situation, because he didn't know what he was dealing with. And this is his way to try to, like, just whatever that they had in the system that they messed up, they just kind of want to quash it, and it's probably going to be over it, because I did everything you said. I have my flag going. I took the address off. I'm coming after, for those that also you definitely want to come after. In my territory, it's called the Illinois Department of Financial and Regulatory Practices. That's the place that houses the licenses of all agents, and they go through a lot of people, attorneys, nurses, whoever. You want to do a court action on them to stop any of their agents or brokers from even listing the property. So I'm coming after them too. You guys want to do that in your territory as well. And then whatever.
The ones that listed.
Well, the Illinois, for me, it's the Illinois Department of Financial and Regulatory Practices. Is like IF, whatever, PR, whatever. But that's the place that houses the licenses, and it houses licenses for more. In my territory, it houses licenses for more than just realtors. It houses other, nursing, and whoever would have a license with Illinois has to go through this regulatory department, you guys want to do something on them, because that's going to stop those brokers from coming out there. Because, see, this is the second foreclosure I'm dealing with. One was with one of my kin, and I didn't have this information, and I told you about this briefly before. Now that I have the information, I came, guns blazing, like with all the documents, and like I know better this time. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing this, and I just piled it on. And I digress because I'm trying to wrap it up for you guys. If anybody needs help with finding out that information or what else you can do to kind of stop them in their tracks, I'll be more than happy to help, because this is pretty much what I do. And I was part of the problem, and now I'm trying to fix it, because I was the one, doing the foreclosures as far as, taking those properties and selling them to the public, not knowing any better. But I know now. So now I'm trying to, kind of fix those problems and help anybody else that's trying to, save their domicile. I yield.
Empress, can you send me a text message today with your phone number so that you and I can talk as well? Because I think it would be a good idea if maybe we did a video, or you did a video, and I'm not sure how comfortable you are with that. And that's the only reason that I'm wanting to, because that needs to go, all of this information needs to go up on the public record on YouTube, so that and I'd love to put it on my channel.
No, I have no problem with that. But, whatever we need, and, domicile I know is important for all of us. So whatever we need to help with that process, I'll be more than happy.
Yes, let's do that. Let's get together. So if you'll send me a text today, because I don't, let me see. I don't know if I have. If you gave it to me, I have it.
It's been a long time. I've hit you a little bit more on email, so I don't know. But okay. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely text you.
Yes, please, so that we can talk and make sure we get something out there with the information, so that the more can have it to refer to and to look back at and use along the way in their demonstrations. And they do have to study, again, with everything that we put out. There is study that must be done in order to demonstrate it competently. And let me just say this too, Justice Malik, I hear you. Give me 2 seconds. Grand Sheik tries to reach Bay. Okay, first I want to send just the biggest, most gigantic energy of love to him, because he has taught us so many awesome and wonderful things that we can put with our own study, so we can move forward and do the things that we're doing. He has said this, and I've said it before, but I see how important it is, so I'm going to say it again. In anything that we do, our sincerity is the #1 ingredient that will determine whether what we do is successful or not. Our sincerity. Everything we do will be successful if we're sincere about our nationality and about our demonstration. So I just wanted to put that out there, because he has mentioned that several times before. I'm never going to stop saying that. So you all are going to get tired of hearing me talk about sincerity, but I'm going to mention it every chance I get, because I see how it's helping the Moors, and myself included. It's helping in everything that we do. Justice Malik, go ahead, and then we'll pare down the call and get ready for Wednesday's call. Islam.
Oh, I was just looking to get the Empress's email. She put it in the chat. Islam, thank you.
Empress Shaddai, did you want to say anything else with regard to that?
Yes, I do. And this is my last piece before I end. I'm sorry, people, but years ago, before this started, I went to one of the other Moors, and they're great with doing readings. And I had a reading done, and they were saying that I was going to be tested exactly like what you were saying, and I was going to be doing a lot of court action. Now, let me tell you this, guys. Before any of this happened, I had never been to court a day in my life, not even for a traffic ticket. So I'm like, why is all this court coming up? And one of the main things that he said, and I never forgot, was the fact that I was going to be tested now, because I was going to be needed in the future coming, and the information that I was learning then was going to help me for what was coming in the future. And I just didn't know, and I didn't see it until more now. Within these last few years, I see it all coming to pass on everything that I learned is bringing me to this moment. Everything that I learned in real estate has been bringing me to this moment. Everything I've been learning about law and on the public-private side, before I even found out about the sovereign side, I was already doing public and private side, seeing it wasn't working all the way like you stated because it was still in their jurisdiction. Some things work and some things don't. But when you go to what we're doing now, people, with dealing with the sovereign side that is not in their jurisdiction, they cannot do anything about it. And now I'm using the information that you have been given and all the other Moors have been given to help with the stuff that I already know. And I'm putting it together and I'm pushing it out there and I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing things work on a normal now that was just working a little bit before. And that was it. I yield.
Yes, Islam indeed. We can't lose with this, with our sovereign status and our bloodline and birthright and the unity and the sincerity that we have. We cannot lose. We can't lose. It's just impossible. And there are some things that are coming up now in our purview that we can see that are related to where we're going. It's going to be monumental is all I can say for our nation and for our government. All we have to do is keep doing what we're doing. Also remember, thank you to everyone who fasted on September 11th. Our nation has catapulted forward, because we were going to do that anyway, but it is catapulting forward based on the energies that are associated and in alignment with the cosmos and the fasting and the holy day, and September 11th being a day in our history as a nation and as a government that I still don't have the full understanding of what September 11th is in our history. But thank you to everyone who fasted. And then also October 31st, let's not forget that we're meeting, all of us are meeting at a site in our territory on October 31st. Here we are going to Mima Mound. And anyone who wants to come to this territory for October 31st, Mima Mound's meeting at noon is welcome to do so. It's going to be at Olympia, Washington territory. Having said that, peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous heirs, Islam.
Peace and love.
Islam. Peace and love. Islam. Peace and love. Grand rising.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Islam.
Islam.
Peace and love, Lord. Grand rising.
Peace and love, Lord. Grand rising.
Grand rising.
Islam.